it looks like Netflix is preparing themselves for a major loss. Which, in all honesty, I don't see why it's a major loss, but then again, we will go ahead and kind of look into it and see what's going on and everything like that. So first things first, obviously you probably have heard that Disney Plus app is fixing to be on its way in November, and all this stuff. But Netflix is more or less concerned. Now, let's go ahead and kind of talk about what's going on here. So, if you don't know, Netflix is much less any normal movie slash video streaming service. You pay a subscription fee in order to watch movies, TV shows, and stuff like that they provide through their service. Some people have Crunchyroll, some people have Hulu, and most people have Netflix. Now, on the one hand, Netflix isn't really that big of a deal, but when you think about it, they were like the big name for like the longest time as soon as this whole media streaming service has started to kick in. I mean, heck, Blockbuster lost themselves as soon as Netflix came about. They could have submitted themselves into the streaming service in order to save themselves, but unfortunately they chose not to. That's what word is going around about it and everything like that. So Netflix is considered to be the top dog when it comes to media streaming services. Now, they don't stream everything, but you can get the majority of stuff that you want to watch through Netflix. But with Disney Plus and everything like that, people are thinking that Netflix is probably going to go kablooey before long. So what Netflix decided to do, they decided to do a survey. And this survey, while it is a small percentage-wise, now keep in mind, when you think about it, they probably have upwards to I'm just going to grab a random number, and that may be wrong. That may be a wrong random number. But I'm just going to say somewhere upwards to 10 million people subscribe to them. Now, that's just 10 million people, okay? Keep in mind, depending on the services, you can have upwards to 3 or 5 users using that same thing, and you can have upwards to 3 different applications. In other words, I'm trying to think of the words to use. The particular hardware, rather, right? You can either have either a smart TV, your PS4, or your smartphone using Netflix at the same time, but it will cost you a few extra bucks here and there. So we'll just say at random 10 million households. Okay, we'll say 10 million at most. Now, Netflix did this survey, right? They did this survey. And according to the survey, it says the survey found 12.3% of 10 million, we'll say, okay, of those polls saying they may cancel Netflix and subscribe to Disney Plus. May, as in they might not. It's on that little borderline of we haven't really quite decided yet. So, as to be expected, they're on that diversion platform. So, in other words, say for example, Disney Plus doesn't have everything in terms of Disney. Obviously they say, oh, well, this will be there, this will be there. There are some things that Netflix has it, but then Disney probably doesn't even have it immediately on Disney Plus yet. Now, that's to say, if it probably will as soon as it launches. We still don't know a full list. We know of how many movies, how many shows, and so on and so forth, but we don't know the exact names and titles of such things yet. Not the full list anyway. And that won't be available until probably of launch of Disney Plus. With that, however, there is a second sentence right here where it says 22. Oh boy, that would have been a big number right there. But it says 2.2%. 2.2. That's a small number when you think about it. 2.2. Saying they will definitely cancel Netflix. 2.2. Now, I can't really do the math myself right now, but I'm sure there's some people who will. 2.2 of 10 million, okay? We'll say probably upwards to I want to say close to 500,000 of people will actually cancel Netflix because of Disney Plus. Because obviously they'll have a more variety of shows that they want to watch and stuff like that. But here's the thing, Netflix have specific Netflix shows that you can't see anywhere else. And stuff like that makes sense. You have to have specific shows that are exclusive to that platform, so that way they can keep certain audience and stuff. For example, Hilda. Hilda is a Netflix-only show. So in other words, if you want to watch Hilda, you're going to have to watch it through Netflix unless they release like a DVD box set or something of that form, which if Netflix is smart, they'll probably choose not to do that. I only say this because technically they did a Castlevania Season 1 box set, which you can get at Walmart for that matter. So that's how I know you can get a box set. Now that's to say, if they won't do it. If they do it, then Netflix will be in trouble, but if they don't do stuff like that often, then Netflix might be in the clear for some time. However, though, there's actually another one where it says about 1 in 5 Netflix user, 1 in 5, that's not good. 1 in 5 Netflix users say they are planning to subscribe to both services. Actually, that might be good. 1 in 5, that's a pretty good ratio. But, 1 in 5 Netflix users are thinking about keeping both services. Now, we're going to do like a ratio. I don't really know if there's a poll set up for this or not. I'm sure there is. I probably could do the research. But we're going to be lazy. I'm going to be lazy, and I'm just going to say this as a random gesture. The average household probably has at least 2 subscription services. At least 2. Okay? So let's say the most common one would probably be Netflix. What would be the second one? Well, they could be either Hulu, Crunchyrolls. I'm sure there's like a third one that I'm not familiar with or something like that. There's technically HBO that has their own thing. I know Stars probably has their own thing. Just a whole bunch of different streaming services and stuff like that. They're trying to keep themselves up. But see, here's the thing. The reason why I say 2 per person, it's because of the subscription service. Now, much like subscribing to magazines and stuff like that, you're not going to subscribe to like 10 magazines at a time and stuff like that. No, that's too much money, You think about it, after like 4 or 5, you're already within like a loss of like $50 to $60 per month. That's a lot right there. And Netflix, depending on what your charges are, I imagine I think right now their cheapest one, I'm not paying for Netflix, my brother is, so he would probably know better, but right now their cheapest one for like one user or something like that is probably above $10. I know the max is like $16 or $17, so that right there should tell you that they're really within the realms of like expense right there. Hulu, I think, is still within that $8 range, I think. I may be wrong. I don't know. Again, Delmar is paying for both Hulu and Netflix. I just watch Netflix. There's really nothing on Hulu that I would want to watch, but there's a lot of stuff that I would definitely watch on Netflix that I more or less would like to watch. And, with Disney Plus and everything like that, that's going to be a third one. Now, record, it is still set for $6.99, $7, so that's not a lot, but that's a third one to add on to it. So right there, if you kept both Netflix, whatever your second one is, as well as Disney Plus, that one would probably cost you upwards to like $35, close to $40, depending on the service charges. Again, Disney is set for like $7. Netflix, depending on your subscription feed and stuff like that, maybe upwards to like $16 right there. So it's going to build up real quickly, what it will. But for the most part, I don't see Netflix being in major trouble. They will be in a financial crunch. We'll put it that way. They'll be in a financial crunch. But they're not in trouble, per se. Now, we'll just say maybe Disney decides to pull all of their Disney exclusive stuff that was on Netflix. So chances are that will hurt them. That will hurt them. Oh, well, here's another one right here. It says here, a full 37.5% of those polls say they would try Disney Plus when it is released. In other words, 37.5% of people are going to try the Disney Plus. Try. That doesn't mean that they will instantly love it or instantly hate it. They're going to try it just to see if they're going to like it or not. Because there are some cases where some people may not like the overlay. I know I have a friend of mine who has had both Netflix and Hulu. And he says he likes the overlay of Netflix better than he does with Hulu. You know, the whole selection thing and everything like that. You can find stuff easier on Netflix than you can on Hulu for some reason. So, let's see here. Is there anything else in particular? It says here, parents of young children are most likely to watch Disney over Netflix. This makes sense. Disney is keen toward children, so of course it makes sense that they would watch Disney over Netflix. It does make sense, given the amounts of family-friendly films and TV shows on offer, including Pixar movies, Marvel, and Star Wars content. So, again, but it doesn't really say, this article I'm reading here, I'm trying to kind of proofread it, you know, that way you're not having to listen to like a full ramble and stuff like that, because I'm just kind of like thinking about it, and it's like, Netflix will survive. They won't be bankrupt or anything like that, unless Disney decides to pull all of their Disney content stuff from Netflix on launch. I'm sure that Netflix has like a contract with them. They have to, you know. The fact that they have like the films that I can think of, they have Treasure Planet, Atlantis, Lost Empire. I know they've got Coco, Cars 3. I know they've got quite a bit of Disney stuff on there, so maybe there's like a contract deal that Netflix has that's like, hey, we can have this for at least like a year or two, unless Disney decides to change that. I don't know. I'm sure there's like a contract deal that says if we were to break this contract, we would have to pay a fine of some kind. For example, if Disney wanted to pull all their Disney content from Netflix due to Disney Plus, they may have to pay a large fine, which is probably why there was another article that was stating that Disney will not see a financial profit within the next 5 years, they said. Which I thought was weird. It's like, you're Disney Plus, though. You're Disney, which means people are probably going to jump on board with the streaming service, even if you don't think it will jump easily. But we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm not much of a market person. I'm more of a standard person, but from what I'm seeing, Netflix is thinking they're in trouble, but I don't think they're in trouble. I think so long as there are shows that people are wanting to watch from Netflix, I think they'll be fine. I think they still have a ways to go before they can say they are plummeted to the bottom, you know. Because, like I said, there's still Hilda. I know there's at least 3 or 4 other shows that is Netflix exclusive that I still love to watch. So, there you go. Netflix, you still got me, and you probably still got like at least a good 8 million other people that are still going to subscribe to you and stay subscribed to you, even if they get Disney Plus. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I just want to kind of throw this little discussion out there, you know, more or less, just because I thought this was interesting. And I thought that, well, it involved Disney and involves Netflix, so why not just talk about it? So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Take care, guys.